All right, another property walk here. These two beds have been planted. You can see the little divots in them with two different varieties of Jerusalem artichoke. These are a white variety. It's really, really smooth. It has no bumps on them. I got those from Oikos Tree Crops. And this is red fuso, which is a very large, red-skinned Jerusalem artichoke. Yeah, I've decided to go almost all perennials, even in the garden spaces. You can see some of the volunteer lettuce coming up here and there. There's some green salad bowl lettuce there, all that stuff. I don't have to plant anymore. I'm just going to keep weed eating in here, basically. And I like to use my scythe and my sickle, but in a space small like this with all these different angles, string trimmer, I have a little electric string trimmer, works real good for that. You can see the clover coming up in there, and I'm going to hit it with a bunch of different clover before I do it again. This bed's vacant right now, but I'm going to plant purple sweet potato in there. That'll be like the one annual in here. That bed's been planted to strawberries. This little guy right here, this little plant, if you find this on your property, consider yourself lucky. This is spiderwort. It is a medicinal and an edible, and the flowers can be used to dye things. And this is a native species that we have here. That's chicory right there. Again, strawberry. Here, I've just planted with comfrey. I want one bed full of comfrey that the ducks can't get to. And this bed here we planted with nutty groundnut. This is a special groundnut that came out of LSU University's research project, and it grows groundnuts about as big as your fist. And they're just starting to emerge. We put them in the ground a couple weeks ago. This fencing is kind of ugly, I admit it, but it was a quick thing to be able to put in a little space like this that was duck-free. You see that guy right there? That is a locust tree. And there's two locust trees planted everywhere there's a fence post. And that way, if one dies, like this one here doesn't look like it's doing very good, but this one here doing well. And that way, you get at least one in every spot. In about 3 years, these trees, and I'll show you some that are 2 years old today, will be way up, and they'll be as big around as my wrist. And then we will take all of these ugly temporary ones away, and we'll be able to use those as fence posts. Much more attractive. You can see I haven't mowed anything this year. I've also planted a row of locust trees. I showed you this swale in the last walkthrough, but on the back side I've planted a row of locust trees and some Antonovka apples. These Antonovkas are not breaking bud like the rest of them, and I may have made a big mistake here. I use a product called Anti-Fuego for fire ants, and where these plastic things are, there was a previous attempt to grow chestnuts that you're just not going to grow in this territory, so we murdered the ants with the Anti-Fuego. It has orange oil, compost tea, and molasses in it, and I've used it many times, and I've never had it have an adverse effect on plants. You can see this one's just barely leafing out. But in later walks, you'll see some of the other ones are doing really, really good. And I think by using it so quickly after we planted them, we might have shocked these 4 Antonovkas. They do show that they're alive. You can see that, you can see the green. That's how you know if a tree's alive. You can scrape it with your thumbnail. But here comes the F-16s again. Anyway, we got those locusts all along the back row, every 4 feet. So this whole row is going to be this row of beautiful support locusts. They're going to shade this swale and help keep it from drying out. And we've emulated that a lot. Somebody was asking about support species in yesterday's walkthrough. They were everywhere. That's an autumn olive. It was planted as a seedling 3 years ago. Yeah, here's a locust. Here's a locust right here that's was planted as a seedling last year. So you can see how fast they'll grow. And here's another one of those dwarf mulberries. This one's not quite along like the one I showed you yesterday. White mulberry, looking really good. Put some fruit on this year. First time in 3 years since it's been put in, it's got fruit on it. I don't think it's going to do really well with fruit in the first fruiting. They usually don't. But then means next year we should do well. Here's some fruit. You can see there's a little bit of it in there. And we'll see how it does. We might get a few off of it, but usually a mulberry tree, the year before it fruits really good the first time, will fruit little bitty fruit and it won't do well. There's a pear tree that's really sad. We should have pulled that out of the ground a long time ago, but I keep giving it a chance. There's that apple from yesterday. What I want to do is take you to the next swale level, and we'll walk that swale, and then we'll wrap this one up for today, and I'll do another one with you tomorrow. Again, look at the grass. I know a lot of people aren't excited about grass, but if you saw this property when I got here, you'd be excited about grass too. I promise you, if it was your property, you'd be excited about grass. So another step we've taken, this is a temporary duck fencing with these cinder blocks like I have to do here. We got locust trees, one on each side. Okay, we got one on this side. We popped one in here. I mean, they're cheap. They're like 60 cents a piece. And here's why, perfect example right here. This one didn't make it. I don't even know where it is. It's gone. There it is. It's alive. It needs a little, we'll fix that today. But you can see if I lose one, I got two. I can always cut one out if I end up with two good ones. So that'll replace this fence. And then we got locust trees just like on the other swale, all along the back of this swale to shade this out with the beautiful shade that they provide. Edible blossoms, great bee yield as well, so you get them all around here. The one there, look at the vetch. Said this property wouldn't grow vetch, it wouldn't grow clover. It's growing a salad bar now. There's clover. That's not a dandelion. I still ain't got no dandelions growing. Look, crimson clover right there. You see the flower on it. Vetch here and there. Native plums in bloom. Some in bloom, some already past bloom. These probably won't fruit real well right now. My bees are gone for a few weeks. They're being split and brought back because the hives got hot. There's another locust tree planted as a seedling last year. Like I said, they grow really fast. That's a feijoa, pineapple guava. Not supposed to live here. It's a little yellow, but it's alive, and I bet it'll do really good this fall. There's autumn olive back there, locust tree. For those who were asking about support species, they're everywhere. Vetch is a support species. Look at that. Looky there. Miss Lady Beetles. Good job, girls. You guys keep killing pests. There's another autumn olive. That is a plum cot of some kind. Another apple tree. Another locust tucked in here. This is a peach tree that died, and this has all come up from the rootstock. And I just haven't been able to bring myself to kill it yet. It actually gives us an opportunity to produce an awful lot of rootstock. We can cut this to the ground. We can hill it up and we can make our own rootstock off of it, but right now it provides a nice little habitat for our predator insects, like a little lady beetle there, and it gives the ducks a place to go hide when they feel like it when they're over here. We got plum cots all over that plum cot tree. Seaberry, doing okay. Got a couple of those in here. Another pineapple guava, autumn olive, apple that's just leafing out there. That's another locust tree. You can see that there's really stuff coming up everywhere in here. Locust tree tucked in here. That's some sort of volunteer tree of some sort. I'm not even sure what it is. It looks very appley. This is a medlar. This is like an ancient tree. This has been cultivated for a long time, even though most of you probably never heard of it. These things, when they get ripe, they look like kind of like a dark, small persimmon. You let them sit on the table and blend, then you eat out the bottom, and they taste like cinnamon applesauce. Pomegranate, locust. My one cherry that's doing really good, that's a Lappin's cherry. Another apple there just leafing out. Locust tree, pear that we thought was going to die. That's why I let that ugly, sad one still alive. Because look at this guy coming back, being supported by that beautiful locust back there. That's a 1-year seedling, planted last year. A little blackberry coming in there, volunteer blackberry. This is a red chief nectarine. It has set some fruit here and there. Be interesting to see if it gets any of them ripe. It's still a pretty small tree. This is Red Ranger peach. And like I said, we're gonna be making a little bit of peach mead this year because there's no way we're gonna eat all these. I mean, this tree's just loaded down. That is an Jonah red apple, looking really happy. That is a mini roll peach, and it's not happy. It's one of those trees I should give up on, but I keep giving it a chance. Locust growing there with plum. And that's probably from some plum rootstock from a tree that didn't make it. This is 2 years of growth here on this big red, Iceland's big red muscadine. And I've got it trained out there. I've got it trained across here, like this. And then I've got another vine trained this way. It comes all the way back to the vine here. And I've pruned off any of the excess growth. These are all fruiting spurs. This should all fruit this year. And I can make tons more. You see this growth right here? That's a perfect softwood cutting right there. I can make a whole new vine out of that. And something you guys need to know about Isons, they're very proud of the fact that they have patented varieties, but most of their patented muscadines, the patent is on worn off. That means it doesn't matter that it's patented. Blackberries. This is my blackberry clump. Another peach tree. This was here when we moved in. I have no idea what variety it is, but it's got a lot of peaches on it. This is probably a good peach meat tree because the peaches didn't taste that great off that tree. Another apple. Persimmon, I have to train that guy. You see I got a stake there. He was really wonky looking. And then down here, I don't want to go too long because then they won't let me upload the video to YouTube off the phone. But I got a Japanese persimmon going there. I've got some more sand cherry mixed in here, but figs. So these are all different varieties of figs. Most of these came out of Rain Tree Nursery. And you can see they've all done really well. There's another Fajoa. That tree is going to be doing really well by the end of this year. I can just tell. Another fig. That guy needs some help, but he made it through winter. Another fig. This is a purple fig this guy back here that was given to me by someone. And this guy here, figs on. How about that? It is April in north central Texas. And I got figs on my fig tree. Little autumn olive there, little purple vetch. Dana the cat joining us. Plantain growing in there. We talk about support species. Remember, it ain't just about the trees. We got clover, we got alfalfa, we got vetch, all the good stuff. Right here, this is jute mallow. And that seed, it'll all grow here again next year. I've had it grown for 3 years now, planted it once. Anyway, we'll take a walk through that swale tomorrow and we'll talk about what's going on there.